Hi guys, welcome back to iThrive's Geeky podcast. I'm Krishna Mesta, functional nutritionist, R&D division at iThrive. So in our last episode, we discussed or touched about the topic like the role of papaya and how it affects like its role to play in pregnancy. And if you guys haven't heard about that or didn't see that video, I would urge you guys to go and see that video again. So today, what we are going to discuss is like the burning topic, that is obesity. Like what causes obesity? And to discuss this, I have Aditya Sangore with us. Hi Aditya.
Hello everyone, my name is Aditya Sangore and I work as a researcher at the supplements department at iThrive, and I am also the instructor for Toxins and Detox at the iThrive Academy. So I'm really interested into the area of obesity and like what makes people overweight. So yeah, it is a really interesting topic.
Yes. So Aditya, how did you develop this interest, like in this specific topic on the like obesity, overweight, and all?
So in my high school days, I used to gym a lot, and that time I was slightly overweight, and I wanted to lose some weight as well, and I was not very successful in doing that. I tried variety of strategies. I went on YouTube. I went on Google like everyone does, and tries to find out what are the different solutions for weight loss and all of the calories in, calories out stuff that is there. So I tried everything, and it helped me a little bit. So, but still, I was not satisfied with the results, and I wanted to know more. And I started researching about what are the different foods that are available that make you obese, and what things make you lose weight. So it is a really fascinating topic because everywhere you go right now, everywhere you go, people have become obese. So like what is I was really curious that what is the cause of this thing. Why are people, even like boys in their 20s and even children are becoming obese, even after people are exercising excessively, still they are not able to lose their weight. So what are the causes of that? I was really interested in that topic, so I went on and researched it.
Oh,
yeah,
that's an interesting story, I would say. Like even like I was suffering from the same thing, like overweight, and I have seen people like they see their idols, like the celebrities, what workouts they do, what food they have. And also I would like to ask you is like previously when people were people when they are mostly in their late 40s, they developed a certain kind of obese, like we can see a obese pattern in them. However, we are seeing this kind of pattern in people who are in the young 20s or in teenage age as well. So what do you think that has changed in the last 20 or to 30 years?
I think our lifestyle has significantly changed, and our dietary patterns, what we eat and at what time do we eat those things, that has also changed. And there is a lot of stuff available online on what are the causes, but they are not very research backed and not very specific. Okay. So majorly, as I mentioned, lifestyle and dietary changes are there, and the amount of stress that has been increased, so which was not there before. So yeah, they are the primary cause, I think, for the weight gain.
Okay, so can we just go a little bit deep, right, to understand all the factors which affect like a person to be obese?
Yeah. So it is often people know that having a higher metabolic rate is very important to maintain maintain your weight, to maintain your muscle mass. And the issue right now is basically we have changed our diet. So there are multiple factors that contribute to weight gain or obesity. And we here, with this discussion, we are not trying to body shame anybody, or we are not trying to point out that being overweight is really bad. But why we are having this discussion? Because there has been a sudden rise in obesity, and obesity is linked to a variety of diseases like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, insulin resistance, and a lot more. So losing weight has its big advantages as well, and having a higher muscle mass and a lower fat mass is always better for your metabolic health.
Yes.
So like primarily I would say that the first and foremost reason for this obesity is vegetable oils.
Yes.
And processed foods. So processed foods have vegetable oils, and even people think that they're eating homemade food, but still that homemade food is made up of vegetable oils, and vegetable oils has been touched upon by our team variety of times. But if you don't know what are vegetable oils, they are derived from seeds and nuts, and these vegetable oils which come in packets, and they are known as like sunflower oil, soybean oil, palm oil, canola oil, rice bran oil. So all of these oils that are there, which are composed of omega-6 fatty acids, which are polyunsaturated fats. So these oils are more prone to oxidation. I would specifically say more prone to lipid peroxidation, because they have more number of double bonds in them.
Yes.
They have multiple double bonds, and those multiple double bonds, they are really those oils are of unstable nature. So the consumption of these oil has been increased, because earlier our grandparents used to use ghee, butter, coconut oil, but right now everybody is using these processed highly processed vegetable oils, which tank our metabolism, which slows down our metabolism. So simply I would say that the rate at which your food is converted into energy is known as your metabolic rate, and that metabolic rate has been slowed down. So primary factor is vegetable oils, I would say, because vegetable oils negatively affect your thyroid, and your thyroid health is very important when it comes to your metabolic health. So they tank your thyroid, they shut, they basically interfere with the glucose metabolism that is there. So they will like restrict the conversion of food into energy, and you will store more amount of food. You will store more amount of food into fats because of the vegetable oil. So they are the primary cause for it. Yeah.
So it's like what we can see is that there is a rise in consumption of food as well. So is it that this rise in consumption is also leading to obesity?
Yeah. So see, there are two aspects here. So why there is rise of food? First, we will have to know that because the availability of food has increased, and why people do need more food, because the amount of stress that has been increased in the last like 40-50 years, because of because of the industrialization, and because tight deadlines that we have to meet, and variety of things, because humans have to go from one place to another. There is lots of traffic, and there is lots of issues in the person's family and psychological issues. Therefore the amount of stress has increased, and to combat that stress, your body needs more energy, therefore it will consume more food. And therefore it is difficult to make a comparison with our ancestors, because the conditions that were there, the toxins that were there, that are there right now, weren't there that time. So yeah, again, that increasing the amount of food that you're eating can be a factor, but there are reasons why we are eating more, because of the availability of food and to combat stress also. And yeah, if you are like not taking breaks between meals, you're just constantly munching, automatically you'll have a weight gain, because you'll have excess energy. And one of the biggest, as you mentioned, that about snacking is very very common these days, and there are lots of snacks, salty snacks, and lots of snacks which are very oily and which are made of vegetable oils. And these are people are consuming them, and they're very addictive as well. So they are like they make rise the dopamine levels, and people want to eat them again and again to feel happy, because of lots of issues. So because of snacking, because you're not giving your body a break, you're not giving your digestive system even a break of 2 to 3 hours between your meals. So that is the case. So I would say both, not eating like chronically not eating can also be a cause of obesity, and eating a lot can also be a factor. So there has to be a gap between your meals.
So both the extremes are dangerous.
Yes.
So actually I wanted to ask you about the stress regarding my next question, but you have beautifully addressed it. So even like if we go to see evolutionary wise as well, like in our olden days there was lots of scarcity of food, and we were evolved in such a way that whatever food which we consume during those scarcity period, the body, what it will do, it will convert it into fat and store it, so that the person might like survive of that situation, and he or she can pass the progeny to the this genes to next
Right.
generation.
Mhm.
However, while fast forward to the modern generation, like modern times,
Mhm.
the stressors have increased a lot, as you mentioned.
Mhm.
And what has happened to our body is, what I feel is that it has again gone into that state wherein it's trying to like protect itself by converting that the energy which we take into fat, and thinking that okay, now it's the stressful period, maybe I won't be able to get that food today or tomorrow, so let's just store it in the fat so that they'll easily survive those again, like the future days which are present for that person. So also, I would also like to ask you, is there any solution like to tackle this problem of obesity?
Yeah. So you had asked me two questions right now. So we'll go one by one. So with the solution part, I think we can discuss it at the end of our
Okay.
podcast. But right now we still have many reasons why obesity is increasing. So you mentioned the like ancestral point.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is totally correct that our ancestors in winter, they used to hold weight because during like starvation periods we need some energy, backup energy.
Yeah.
And fat, we could tap into our fat cells to take that energy. But see, right now, in the 21st century, we have ample amount of food. And even if you can see, even villagers nowadays are becoming obese, people which were called as fit. Yeah, because of toxins are everywhere, and these foods are everywhere. And the lifestyle changes are, entirely, the lifestyle of entire planet has changed significantly. So yeah, the amount of food that we are getting, we never expected that in the last 100 years we would get so much food. So yeah, that has negatively affected our metabolism, and our bodies don't know what to do, so they store it as a fuel. And it will take time to adapt to that, so that evolutionary change will happen. It will take a long time, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are there any other reasons like which can lead to obesity?
Yeah, there are variety of reasons, as I mentioned. So coming towards lifestyle changes, so if you see, we do not get the right amount of sleep, and sleep increases our cortisol level. It has been proven. So your cortisol cortisol is a hormone that is used to maintain the glucose homeostasis. So whenever your blood glucose levels comes down, if you are fasting or if you are not eating something, then automatically your cortisol levels will rise to counter that. So cortisol will increase the blood glucose levels for you to carry on your bodily processes or to be alive, basically. Yeah. So cortisol also secretes an enzyme called as fatty acid synthase. So therefore, like if you are having high cortisol levels, even if you are eating something, so if you are going under some psychological stress, your cortisol will still rise, your stress hormones like adrenaline, glucagon, growth hormone will rise, and they will start to convert the energy into fat. It will disrupt the glucose metabolism. So a big issue is that I already touched upon that your mitochondria, your cell, is not able to use up the glucose that you're eating. Yeah. So toxins are blocking the usage of glucose or the glucose oxidation. So your vegetable oil is one of the toxin which blocks the uptake of glucose into the cell. That is one thing. And the second thing is that whenever you're under stress, your body taps into the fat stores, and all of those fats are stored in the form of triglycerides in your body. So whenever you're under stress, there is rise of these stress hormones, and these stress hormones make the secretion of free fatty acids into your blood. So there is release of free fatty acids into the blood, and free fatty acids block the uptake of glucose into the cell, block the oxidation of glucose, basically. So therefore there is excess amount of blood glucose into your blood, and which leads to variety of problems like diabetes is one of them, insulin resistance is one of them. So
and I would say inflammation as well.
Inflammation, yeah, they're highly inflammatory, highly unstable. And therefore I would say eliminate vegetable oils, use saturated and monounsaturated vegetable oils. And one more important point I want to touch here is apart from the lifestyle changes, we are using lots and lots of new products that are there. Yeah, like body care, household products, and also these cosmetics that we are using, and also the water, that type of water that we are drinking. So those are very big factors, for obesity. So people touch areas like food, lifestyle when it comes to obesity, but they never explore the areas of toxins. And toxins, I would say, are one of the biggest contributors to obesity. And toxins, and specific type of toxins which are known as endocrine disruptors. So these endocrine disruptive chemicals are found in all of our body care, household products, from your tap water. So these are environmental toxins, and these environmental toxins can be anything from heavy metals to your parabens that you have heard, to persistent organic pollutants, to pesticides, fungicides, to there are something called as phthalates as well, BPAs as well. So these are different type of chemicals, compounds which are highly reactive, and they disrupt the endocrine system. Therefore, they are known as endocrine disruptors, and they disrupt cell signaling as well. So they go into our bodies, disrupt the hormonal system. They cause a dominance of estrogen in our body. So estrogen is said to be a female hormone, but yeah, it is present in both males and females. But estrogen is a type of stress hormone, and it causes, if the level goes up abnormally, then it causes obesity. And these products that we're using on everyday basis, like perfumes, like makeup, and the heavy metals that we are getting from variety of our cookware utensils, that we're using, all of these disrupt the hormones, increase estrogen and increase weight gain, and therefore they are known as obesogenic products. So yeah, Krishna, that is one of the biggest reason I would say for obesity right now.
Yeah, and what about exercise inclusion? What are your views about that as well?
Yeah, so exercise is very important, because if you are doing weight training, it will help you to increase your muscle mass, and that will increase your metabolic rate. So that will help you to keep your blood glucose level down as well. So muscle is a very metabolically active tissue, and it is better than fat. So you'll be even if you eat excess food someday, still your body will not get obese, and you'll be able to manage your weight gain very well. So you need to at least exercise minimum 3 times a week, and I would suggest go for weight training majorly, because that will help to build good quality muscle. And yeah, exercise is a must, but there are downsides to exercising as well. So right now people are restricting their calories heavily, some people to lose weight, and these people also exercise heavily at their gym, or they are going for marathons to lose weight, or they are running excessively. So that is, exercise is a stressor if not done in the right way. So if you are doing too much exercise, again stress hormones will rise, because once all of your energy levels, all of your glycogen is depleted from your body after exercising, your body will have to tap into the free fatty acids. It will have to tap into the muscle that you have. It will have to break down the muscle, which can increase, in the long run, which can increase the ammonia production in your body. So moderate exercise is completely fine. Some cardio and some majorly weight training is totally all right for, so you need to maintain a balance when it comes to exercise.
Yeah, maybe 80% of weight training and 20% of cardio will actually help an individual.
Yeah, exactly. And it is important to note that if you're exercising, you need more nutrients in your body, because exercise will deplete, use up nutrients in your body.
So like what's happening is that people are indulging into exercises and they're restricting their diet. Again, it's causing a shortage of nutrients, which you said. So again, it's going to cause a problem for muscle gain and functioning as well.
Right. Yeah. So even when you ask me about excess food, so and let's touch about the topic of carbohydrates. So there has been lots of trends about low carb and like calorie restriction. So low carb is a very good strategy. People are using it to reduce their weight. And there are other diets as well, like the ketogenic diet, which people are using to lose their weight. But there is one complaint when it comes to, when they lose their weight. Lot of times, they are gaining that weight back when they just go back to the same way that they were eating,
like the carbs which
yeah,
they were
yeah,
consuming.
yeah. When they resume doing that. So the main thing is that we should not be fearing carbohydrates, because they're the primary fuel for our body. The only issue with carbohydrates is that carbohydrates and majorly sugar will deplete your nutrients. If you're consuming our basically our Indian diet is centered around carbohydrates. And if you're excessively eating carbohydrates, and also you're not providing healthy fats, proteins, and all of the nutrients that are required. So Krishna, you must be really aware that whenever our body uses carbohydrates, the requirement for vitamin B1 goes up.
The B complex, I would say, because they are used up in the Krebs cycle. And what people are doing is that they are not providing that with the amount of proteins and all. They'll just go on adding carbs or maybe like that. So that is again causing an issue, like you just mentioned.
And even coming towards glucose oxidation, even during glucose oxidation, lots of different minerals are required. So like boron is also one of the minerals that is used. Potassium is also used whenever the glucose goes inside the cell to get oxidized. So if you're not giving proper electrolytes, magnesium is also involved while energy production. So if you're not giving magnesium, if you're not having copper in your food, and if you're not having chromium, all of these, some of these trace elements and some of these minerals and vitamins are required for glucose oxidation. If you'll not give it, your body will be overly stressed. It will convert the excess glucose that is left into the cell, which is not oxidized, back into fat, and it will give rise to diabetes, obesity. So very, very, nutrients are very important, because people, because of the excess stress that they are having, stress depletes magnesium and electrolytes and variety of other nutrients as well. So you need to have balance of those vitamins and minerals if you are increasing your carbohydrate levels to cope up with that, and as well as to cope up with your stress.
So basically it's like these nutrients and minerals, they act as cofactors, like they aid in transport of glucose into the cell. Otherwise it is again taken up by the bloodstream and is stored as fats. Yes. I guess it was a really good discussion, Aditya, and it was really insightful, I would say. And what was something like, are there any limitations or anything like which you found out while doing this research?
Limitations, the thing is that there are still studies going on at which toxin is causing what kind of endocrine disruption, and like, is it really causing you to gain weight? And like, I had just found these many factors, but there are still many factors that still the research is going on, and even people are trying their best to reduce the amount of toxic products that they're using, amount of toxic foods that they are using, but still some people aren't able to lose that excess weight. So still lots of research need to be done on what exactly is like the cause of weight gain, but these are major factors. If you avoid them, they can be really helpful.
So you had mentioned earlier that you are going to touch upon solutions as well. Before that, I just want to know, in a household, like personal care products, or can you give examples of products which has toxins in them, which can again lead to weight gain and obesity in individuals?
So you asked me about the products that which are obesogenic in nature at our homes. So these products can be outside as well. There can be some of the chemicals that are there, pollutants that are there, that can be outside as well of our home. So we need to take care of both areas. But the area where we have the most reach is our house. So these products, as I already mentioned, are endocrine disruptors, and they shut down they restrict the production of energy into the mitochondria. So these products can have heavy metals as well, and these products will lead to weight gain, and some of them include the shampoo that you're using, the makeup products that you're using, and the utensils that you're using. So plastics are one of the major reasons for weight gain, because plastics are estrogen mimickers, endocrine disruptors, and these soft plastics that are there, known as phthalates, and BPAs as well. So both of them are in our like one-time use plastics as well, and in the plastic containers that we use as well. So people are eating, drinking from all of those plastic containers, and that can lead to weight gain, as well as the perfumes that you're using, the room freshness perfumes, they are highly toxic. And whenever you see on the back of the label added flavorings, or the artificial coloring that they're using, it can lead to irritation as well, to the and it can lead to hyperactivity in children as well. So all of these things, all of these products that you take which aren't organically sourced, and whenever you read the back of a label which has a number of additives, preservatives, all of them cause obesity. So you need to really go inside your house and check if what kind of products that you're using. Does it have parabens? Does it have sulfates? Does it have those phthalates? And any type of cream that you apply on your body is very dangerous. So whenever you're applying something on your body, you need to take care of it really, if it's natural or not.
I guess toxins will make another episode only.
Yeah.
If we dive deep into. So what about the solutions which you were talking about?
Yeah. So solutions. So this is very important area, because if we don't know practically what to do, then there's no point of this discussion. So when it comes to solutions, the dietary guidelines that I will tell you is to get rid of seed oils, because they will cause major weight gain. Use saturated fats which are more stable in nature, and as I already mentioned about those toxic body care home products that you're using, cleaning products that you're using, there are a variety of alternatives. You can use vinegar to clean your floor as well. So there are a variety of these alternatives that are there, and there are lots of brands that have least amount of toxic ingredients in them. So you have to really change all of the products at your home. You have to start drinking from a glass bottle instead of using plastic. You have to use stainless steel instead of Teflon that you're using. And when it comes to lifestyle changes, these are very important. So you need to at least have a gap of 3 hours between your meals. That is a minimum.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you eat excessively, I told you the consequences of that. So you need to stop munching. You need to have at least 3 hours gap between meals. You need to have at least 8 hours of sleep, because sleep rises all of those stress hormones that are there. And stress, which is a very, very, very big factor for weight gain. Stress will make you fat. That is the biggest factor. So stress will store the energy for the future. It will tell your body that you're not in a secure place. Yeah. So it will also increase the nutrient intake. So nutrient intake is very important. So getting all of those B vitamins and all of the essential nutrients that your body needs, which you're not getting from food, you need to go for supplements. And I think we have covered I think most of the area, but lifestyle changes are really necessary. And also you need to stay away from devices that produce harmful electromagnetic frequencies. So they are also the big cause of obesity.
So how EMF relates to obesity?
It depletes all of your nutrients, as well as it stresses your body overall.
Okay.
Yeah, so that would be another discussion, how EMF contributes. That would be a big discussion. We have touched on lots of points, but it will deplete all of those important nutrients like calcium, magnesium, and again it will slow the cellular respiration. So that is how you need to it causes obesity, and you need to get rid of all of those smart watches and all of the Bluetooth earphones, and you need to turn off your Wi-Fi before you go to sleep.
Okay, I'll get rid of my smartwatch as well.
Totally. You need to.
Yeah.
So any more questions that you have, or I guess I have covered most of the points.
You have covered most of the points.
Yeah.
So guys, thank you Aditya once again for this lovely discussion. And what I would like to say is that the points which are mentioned by Aditya in this discussion are actually we shouldn't be using those for a medical consideration or general guidelines. These were points which Aditya found while doing his research. So one needs to be open to consider all research, all the research point which comes up during research. And that's it, guys. So like, share, and subscribe to our Geeky podcast. And if you have some other like common, uncommon question which you guys need us to answer them, you can just put that in our comment section. Thank you, guys.